We plan to make history here this evening.
What's up, everybody? It's week 11. Try and knock this one out a little bit quicker. I know last week we went 27 minutes. So it's a little long if you're watching a YouTube video. It's hard for me to watch our own video sometimes. But last week, 5-1 on his college picks, which was really good. He's right now going on an every other week pattern of really good, really good. So
trying to tell him to do the opposite of what I'm doing this
week. You might want to wait a week. No.
Yeah.
But anyways, 5-1. That's really good. I mean, he went against all the top games that you can, generally he's trying to pick out now the ones that you can.
I got those right. It was my team that I missed.
The Missouri Tigers killed him. And what was funny is, like, that's the only one I kind of actually questioned. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I don't really know too much about the college game. But 9-4 on the pro side for me.
8-5.
What was bad, though, was the Giants were in a lot of our parlays, and that kind of, luckily we had a good week on the college end, so, I'm going to be honest with you, we were about even because I took everything we kind of won and put a 7-point teaser on the Steelers and the under, because I saw it was raining, thinking, 6 points, they'll cover that, no problem. Roethlisberger gets hurt. 3, they tackle that guy at the end. Steelers, get me again. Their total now is up about 1,000 and something.
That's right. I forgot to think about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm almost getting to the point where I don't know if I'm going to pick them anymore. I mean, even mess with. Now, look at this. Cat's biting me.
Better you than me.
Go. Oh my God.
Can we start over?
No, we're not starting over. Anyway, I was talking with, I think it's Matt Stuke. I'm sorry if I butchered your name, but he's out of, I think, New York somewhere. And, he was kind of, I'm trying to let him know our show here is still a work in progress. I mean, we try to start adding that, and he was asking about over-unders and parlays that we do. Well, like I said, right now, I'll be honest with you, I'm looking at the sheet, and I don't know, I'm hoping these lines will change. Now, going into last week, we had a couple double-digit lead, or 3 double digits that none of them covered for the favorites. By the end of the week or by Sunday, they would have jumped up almost to 13, I think 13.5 on a couple of these things. So, I mean, I'm hoping these lines change a little bit for the better this week, because I'm going to be honest with you right now, I'm not really that confident, and I'm just going to be perfectly honest with you. I mean, we can tell you what we think right now, but, come Sunday, you still got Alex Smith, and you're not sure of his status, which is a big difference. We watched that game last week when Kaepernick or whatever came in. That guy did not want to throw the ball. And I mean, he just wanted to run. He was afraid to make a mistake, and you could see it watching that game. And so, that's going to be a big difference. You've got Big Ben banged up right now. Cutler banged up right now. Vic's not playing this week. Sanchez.
Oh, no, he's not hurt. He just sucks. Okay. Yeah.
But so, I mean, you're going to have a lot of variables in this week that are unknowns. And I think it's kind of a whole, it's a whole kind of, the way this whole season's been this year. You've had, 5 rookie quarterbacks starting. Those are unknowns. You had Peyton Manning, unknown if he was going to come back healthy. You have Mike Vick not playing very well at all. That was another one.
He'd probably be out this week, too.
Yeah. So, I mean, this week right now, I think you've got too many unknowns. We're going to try and straighten it out as best we can.
What we can do is maybe, put a note on our thing of the parlays we do, because we normally don't decide till Saturday or Sunday before the games.
And I think starting now in the description of our videos, instead of putting our parlays out, what I might have us do after we get done here is just kind of rank them in the order we think are kind of like in those pools you get. We'll rank them number 1 being the most confident to number 13 or however many games we hear as the least confident. We'll both do it, add it up, and then I'll just put the list of the numbers of which one we think together it's going to be the way. So I don't, because you get to a responsibility now of just doing this. We're just doing this for fun. Yeah. We've got our money on the line, but now when it comes to giving advice, which I don't know, we're not professionals. We've never even closely resembled a professional. We're in a basement right now, sitting at a table my kid built for his wrestling show. I mean, so it's here, so that's what we decided to do. We both enjoy watching football. We both enjoy gambling to a point. We like poker. It's just something that's addictive and.
But this isn't our life savings on the line.
No, exactly. This is not even close. I mean, the stuff we have here, everything we have to gamble, we're basically just built a bankroll up from $50 a year ago. And we actually, at one point, in 1 year took the $50 and turned it into almost $650 in the first year. So we're doing that kind of the same way. We haven't taken any money out. We've just been kind of rolling it over and letting it go. So
and I did see on the Talk Rappers video last week, where he basically said, we use this information to supplement what you're thinking you're going to do, and go see what other people are thinking, so you have a general idea, but don't use it as the sole basis for what you're betting.
Exactly, yeah, because I was doing the same thing too. Now, there are some people on here that I trust, and I trust their advice. And as I told Devin, I was like, dude, I use your advice sometimes, even though if I don't agree, for a couple bucks or whatever, it kind of back ends our bets. If he has a good week, we don't. We at least break even for the week. It's one of those little safety nets that we use. But take all this information you see from everybody, and use your own opinion, use your own judgment. If you're totally betting on somebody else's opinion, you should not be gambling, period. I mean, you got to
especially if it's ours.
But like I said, take our word for a grain of salt. But like I said, I did put a couple numbers together. We agreed on all these picks. This is out of since week 2. 125 games. We agreed 86% or 86 times, which is 69% of the time we agreed actually together. Now, when we agree together, we're 47, 35, and 4, which is only about 60%. Not that good. But as compared to alone, I'm 20, 18, and 1 alone, which is only 54%. That's only 39 games. So obviously, when we agree a little bit together, a little bit higher percentage. So like I said, take all this with a grain of salt. That means you're active negative record.
Why don't you start doing some college and then we'll talk?
Okay. Yeah. See, I got a more time to do the pros. But anyway, now that we just blew probably 5 minutes, let's go ahead and get started. First up, we got the Bills and the Miami Dolphins. The Bills are a 2-point favorite at home. Look for a lot of C.J. Spiller, a lot of Fred Jackson. Every time we go against the Dolphins, there's a couple, for some reason, it's not even just the same person, a couple different people coming after us against the Dolphins. This is a road game. You still got a young team, I'm sorry. Give me the Bills -2.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Bills. Buffalo offense has looked pretty good here recently. Really comes down to you got Miami's defense, but how does Buffalo's defense do? They tend to give up a lot of points. You had Miami with a lot of turnovers last week. Didn't expect the blowout against Tennessee. I did expect the cover.
Yes.
And it did happen. But I agree. I have to take Buffalo at home. I look for 3 to 6 point games somewhere in there, so I like Buffalo.
Yeah, the Bills just coming off who they just played. They played the Patriots and they played the Texans. I think they were both
Texans.
Exactly. So they're coming off 2 really tough games. Unfortunately, Miami improving team. Well, except last week they took a little step back, but next up, we got the Redskins against Michael Vicklis. Is that a word? The Eagles. The Redskins are a 3.5-point favorite at home, where they have not played very well at home. But the Eagles, from what I saw when Foles or whatever his name came in afterwards, are going to have a tough time. Give me the Redskins -3.5.
Yeah, I like the Redskins at home. They're coming off a bye week. You had some controversy with the things that Shanahan said going into the bye week. Eagles without Vic. You got to expect they're probably going to try and rely on McCoy a little bit, which they probably should with Foles as a backup, but I like Washington here.
And next up, we have the Detroit Lions, Green Bay Packers. The Packers are a 3.5-point favorite on the road. The Packers are starting, obviously, as you've seen over the last 2 or 3 weeks, starting to click. Go ahead and give me the Packers on the road, -3.5.
Yep, I like the Packers here. I mean, until the Lions they're so inconsistent. They tend to get behind early and then try and come back late. If you bite me, I swear to God, you will fly into that camera. So I'm taking Green Bay here, and I would probably go with the over.
Okay, and next up, we got the Atlanta Falcons, a 9.5-point favorite over the Cardinals. I did a little more research on because, like I said, last week, after 4 losses, 3 of them were double-digit favorites that I had picked. I went back and kind of took a look at a couple things. This year, double-digit favorites are 4 and 6 right now. Now, obviously, 3 of them lost last weekend. But I was like, wait a minute, that just doesn't seem right. So I went back a little bit, and 7.5-point favorites to 9.5-point favorites this year, 3 and 8. Like I said, you can take this all with a game with a grain of salt. But go ahead, what the hell are we talking about? The Falcons? Yeah, the Falcons are 9.5-point favorites I'm going to go ahead and take the Falcons. Too much weapons, not enough weapons on the Cardinals. Even though that goes against every trend that I've just seen back, maybe it's due factor. I don't know. Betting's a horrible game.
Yeah, well, you got Atlanta's defense going against an offense who's not as potent as New Orleans. You've got to think they're going to try and get the ground game going. Michael Turner, I mean,
here we go.
I could go 12 carries for 16 yards, I think, against New Orleans defense. I'd probably not play football ever again, but I could do it. I'm taking Atlanta at home here. Arizona's offense without the running game, I know they got Howling, but I like Atlanta here.
And next up, we got the Buccaneers going to the Carolina Panthers. The Buccaneers are actually a 1.5-point favorite on the road. Go ahead and give me the Buccaneers. I really like the way their offense is playing right now. Their defense is good enough to, I think, get them a road win. I mean, it's just as simple as that. I don't think the Panthers are as good as the Buccaneers at 1.5 points.
Yeah, you got to go with the hot hand here. Tampa's on a roll offensively. They don't look like they can be stopped right now, so I'm taking Tampa Bay.
And next up, we got the Cowboys coming off a really impressive win over the Eagles. Hosting the Browns. Go ahead and give me the Browns at an 8-point favorite or 8-point dog, just for the reasons being that I just went back. Like I said, 3-8 this year. I don't think the Cowboys are 8-point better than the Browns. Look for the Browns to try and establish some type of run game, and like you were saying last week, the Cowboys at home will find a way to shoot themselves in the foot, and they might get the win, but it's not going to be by 8 points.
Yeah, no, I'm taking Cleveland also. I expect Cleveland's going to try and rely maybe on Richardson to kind of eat some of the clock up. Also, Cowboys didn't look bad against Philadelphia. This is where you kind of expect them to maybe stub their toe a little bit. I expect Dallas to win this game. I just don't expect it to be a blowout. Maybe Whedon can connect with Des Bryant again like the old times. They both with Oklahoma State.
I don't get that.
Yeah, he's not done follow college. So, yeah, give me Cleveland to cover 8.
And next up, we got our St. Louis Rams hosting the New York Jets. The Rams are a 3.5-point favorite. I think this is the biggest number they've been a favorite this year, if they've even been a favorite.
Probably go back 3 or 4 years, probably.
But guess what? Give me the Rams at 3.5. Last week, coming off their tie. Should be encouraged by that, I would say. I mean, you went into San Francisco. Should have won the stupid game. I mean, obviously, us being from St. Louis, said that a million times. Watching that game, it seemed like the officials did everything they could to make sure that San Francisco didn't lose.
And the Rams did everything to help.
And then the Rams did everything to help.
Line up wrong, let's,
kick a 53-yarder and then don't get it off in time.
Yeah.
How does that even happen?
Right.
Whatever. Give me the Rams at 3.5 at home.
Yeah, I'm taking the Rams. I'm not going to talk about this game. The Jets just look terrible. I mean, it's just I can't understand how bad they look right now.
And next up, we got the Texans hosting the Jacksonville Jaguars. Huge number, 15 points. The Jaguars were 16-point underdogs a few weeks ago against the Packers up in Green Bay, which I think is actually a tougher go than going to Texans or going to Houston. Give me the Jaguars to cover 15. They will not win this game at all, but look for maybe a backdoor cover late.
No, I'm not going to talk about backdoor, but I like Houston to cover here. Jacksonville just I almost feel like I'm talking about the Jets again. They're young, but they're just not playing well. I'm taking Houston here.
They're not playing all well, but after coming off 3 double-digit burns on me, I mean, that cost me a really good week, and I don't know, maybe I might be gun-shy on that one. Next up, we have the Chiefs, who held their own against the Steelers in a shitstorm field, and Ben Roethlisberger getting hurt, and that was a fluke. Give me the Bengals minus 3.5 on the road.
Taking the Bengals. I'm not
Yeah, it's the Chiefs. I don't know what happened.
I think it was an aberration.
It was. I mean, you could blame it on the weather. I mean, Jamal Charles did break a couple runs. The Steelers did everything they could to drop the ball early and give the Chiefs favorable field position.
Right.
That was all that game was down to. That was not what was supposed to happen. So, next up, we got the Saints, a 4.5-point favorite on the road against the Raiders. I like the Saints. The Saints are starting to click. I think Darren Sproles, there's a small chance he comes back, which he's a real big spark plug in this game, or for that team. But go ahead and give me the Saints, even on the road, as a 4.5-point favorite. I think they're ship is going in the right direction.
You know, this might be the 1 week where Oakland passing the ball all the time might actually benefit them.
Which they can
I
do.
know I harp on it with them, but it's one thing that, you know, you look at what Matt Ryan did last week, and we kind of talked about when we made some of our prop bets before the game. We expected Ryan and White and Jones and Gonzalez to have big games, and they did, except Jones got hurt. So, yeah, I should have told everybody. So I look where Oakland might be able to stay close to this game, but I like New Orleans to cover.
And we have the Patriots playing the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts are a 9-point dog on the road. Go ahead and give me the Colts. Both these teams, surprisingly enough, if you just walked in and said, what do you mean they have the same record? But they have the same record. I really think that the Colts will be able to semi-keep up with the Patriots to within 10 points, so no problem. Give me the Colts +9.
Yeah, I like the Colts here also. If New England had a better defense, I would definitely take New England.
Yeah,
but the defense,
that's all
I can
on.
see where Luck can have a big game here, so I'm taking the Colts.
And next up we have the Broncos and Chargers. 7.5-point favorite for the Denver Broncos. Now, Call of Duty came out, so I'm a little sketchy right now. I've been watching a lot of Call of Duty lately, or been playing a lot. But the Broncos came back from 24 points down last time they played. Look for this game to be a little bit closer, actually. 7.5 points. Go ahead and give me the Chargers to cover, but they won't win this game.
Yeah, I look for a little bit of a payback, at least an attempt to have a payback by the Chargers. But I still like Denver to win, but I'm taking San Diego to cover also.
Yeah, I don't see a payback, but I think they've kind of felt each other out. I think both teams know what they got now. I'll look for just
Denver covers if they get like a late defensive touchdown. Because you can expect that with Rivers.
Which is possible, yeah. Rivers could just throw up some junk ball or whatever he does, runs out and just throws it to the other guy, whatever he wants to do. But yeah, I could see that definitely happening.
But if he doesn't do that, then we'll cover.
And next up we have the Steelers, who need a quarterback all of a sudden, playing the Ravens. Look for the Ravens to go into Pittsburgh and cover 3.5 points. Only fact being Ben Roethlisberger is not there, and he is their spark plug to running that team. I mean, just enough said. Without him, the Steelers are a totally different team. Ravens win this game.
You know, deep down, I wanted to take Pittsburgh here, although they tend to screw us. So this will be the week they actually play well. But I can't. After seeing Leftwich, play last week, Nebraska's going to have a week under his belt being the primary starter in practice. So
there's a reason he's not a starter right now.
But, in Baltimore, they had a great game last week. Before that, they had looked shaky. But I'm still taking Baltimore here to cover 3.5.
And next up, a game which Sportsbook, where we do our wagering at, doesn't even have this game yet. I guess they're waiting to see if Alex Smith and Jay Cutler's situation first. But we had to go to another website. They actually had the 49ers as a 5.5-point favorite right now. Give me Chicago on the road to cover this 5.5. Not because our Rams went up there and tied them and made them look bad. It has nothing to do with that. Without these two quarterbacks, I think Chicago... I just think, actually, for some reason, Chicago actually has an edge in this game. And, I mean, even being on the road, it's going to be tough with their defense. Cutler and Forte or whoever decides being the quarterback. But are going to have a tough time. 5.5, look for this game to be about 3 points.
Yeah, I agree. I think San Francisco's in better shape with Kaepernick moving the offense. But like you said, it seems like he's hesitant to throw. And the last thing he's going to do against Chicago is throw the ball. I like Chicago with their defense. I think their running game slightly better with Forte and Bush. I like Chicago to cover 5.5 on the road.
So that's what we got. Like I said, we didn't do that bad last week. After coming off 12-2 and 11-3 a couple weeks ago, when you're 9-4, it's just like I was hoping to get that double-digit win with that Pittsburgh game, but it just didn't happen. So, like I said, bet responsibly.
Right.
I don't know.
Real quick, college picks.
Did it to him again.
Doesn't
Final
like
one.
college
I'm like,
picks.
nah, we don't need that.
You don't need your parlay bet.
Do your college picks.
Okay, we got Ohio State at Wisconsin. Wisconsin's favored by 2.5. Initially, this line was at 3.5, and I was leaning toward Ohio State at 2.5. Give me Wisconsin at home. They're playing better the last several weeks. I like Wisconsin to cover. Oklahoma is favored by 11 at West Virginia. West Virginia, really been a strange year for them, but they're at home. It's a big game. I like West Virginia to cover 11 at home. Stanford at Oregon. Oregon's favored by 20. I like Stanford. I think defensively they can probably hold Oregon to under 50. Wow, put it on the board. So I'm taking Stanford to cover 20 on the road at Oregon. You have USC is favored by 3.5 at UCLA. This is somewhat of a homer pick. My dad played at UCLA back in the late 40s.
It was like recently,
A long time ago. But UCLA is playing really well. I like UCLA to win against USC. And then last but not least, Syracuse at Missouri. Missouri's favored by 4.5. I will never go against my team ever again.
you shouldn't either.
They can be favored by 50. I'm going to take Missouri in this game, but Missouri's favored by 4.5. Give me Missouri, and let's go to a bowl this year. So that's all we got.
All right, bet responsibly. Until then, we'll see you guys in week 12.
Take care.